for the unveiling. Not really unveiling, but it's time to show you what I've done here in my Christmas journal. I have been silent this whole December, just about, and I do apologize for that. I'm working at getting everything back to normal, and I just wanted to, before the new year was out, before the old year was gone, before 2020 disappeared forever, I want to show you my journal and tell you how much I appreciated all of you this year that has watched me and has given me likes and comments and happy mail and supported me in just about every way possible. I truly, truly appreciate you. Did a video on the cover, so you've seen that, and I can link that at the bottom. And December started out lovely. I welcomed it with open arms. I had all my ephemera from last year out and was ready to go, and I just had so much fun. I did a little journal page. I loved this snowman card. This was actually the cover. So anyway, and then I just had plans to be busy and have fun all through December. And then, of course, we had our family tragedy, and things became very somber. And so this is some pages that I had done somewhat ahead of time, but I didn't fill in. I filled in some of the cards, but I've pretty much left everything maybe to do another time, another year. So there's plenty to work in next year if I want to, although it is very thick. So I may not want to put any more in there than I have. I have a little tuck spot here. The eyes of the window are on the sole. The eyes of the window. The eyes, I'll get it. The eyes are the window to the soul. And that's not a new quote. I've heard that a lot of times, but I did like that. I love the little tuck spot. I love the old-fashioned things that have been sent to me, and I wish I had written down who sent that. And then I have cards here. These were tea bags sent to me from Christina. And to start out the year of December, and I very much enjoyed that. I love tea, and I was awash with tea this year, but I did enjoy Christina's tea. This I did post in my Instagram, and I have just a little bit of mention here on day 7, day 8. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And that is something that was a vision of Eleanor Roosevelt. The 9th, of course, was our funeral service for my great-nephew, William, which I attended through a Zoom type, I attended it through the Zoom thing that they had going on at the church, and it was a joy to be able to participate in that celebration of his life. December 10th, again, more tags, and I made this cute little clip. These are a little hard to put on. They're not, and they're so secure. I love them. I ordered some sari ribbon. Not only did I order sari ribbon, this was the first batch that I ordered, and I just couldn't wait to use it. And not only did I order this one, I ordered 2 more batches. I don't know why, as the colors were just mesmerizing. I just absolutely loved it. But this is the only piece that I used in December. So I have all that for January. This here is another tag with some of my thoughts on it. And I used some of this just for fun. December 13th was the first time I ever celebrated St. Lucia Day. And so I really enjoyed it. I have seen The Little Girl with the Candles. I did not know anything about it, but anyway, I really enjoyed making note of it this year and using it in my journal. Okay, this reminded me of Talon, my daughter's husband's service dog, and of course their family pet as well. And then I flipped it out here, and I'm going to do some journaling here about my December, but I haven't. I loved this. Came in Happy Mail, and I think this was from last year. This is of course from a See's advertisement, and I was going to buy those for my nephew, and I went to look up the box, and I thought, whoa, those are expensive, but I was going to order him a big box of these foil covered Santas because I just love them. I love them myself, and I was very happy because they were completely out, and I just did what I normally do for him for Christmas, and he was very, very happy with that. And he even mentioned, without him knowing that I was going to send him candy, that he was very glad not to receive so much candy this year because he usually has way too much and it's bad for him. So yay, they do grow up. Again, I just love this. I love, while we're here, I will do a little fortune for the new year for you. If you're watching this on an odd day, we'll make that blue, and you will give someone an extra $1 in your tip coming up this next month. You will give someone an extra $1 in your tip to them. And if you're watching this on an even day, a special bird will cross your path. Now, when I think of a special bird, I think birds are special to different people. Some people have the Christmas robin. Some people have a Christmas cardinal. Some people just love parrots. Some people, my best friend has always had parrots. Some people love their canaries and their parakeets. And some people have special birds, swallows, and different birds that are special to them. When I see a cardinal, I think somebody from heaven is visiting me. So I'm going to take both of those and take them for me for the month of January. Okay, now this somehow mushroomed, and that's a tag. And I just love that. The kittens remind me of my mom. She just loves kittens and cats in general. And we've always had cats. And I have been yearning for a cat or a kitten lately, or a puppy. Not everything, not a bunch, but one. And even a bird, a parakeet, would be lovely to have something else alive in the house that I can interact with. But so far, I've resisted. I don't know if that's good or bad. But anyway, December 16th, or this is December 15th, is my mother's birthday. And she was born in 1928, and she passed away in 2016. This is Happy Holidays, and there's a little tag here. Ooh, there's a little tag. And none of the Canadian stamps were canceled. And so I keep meaning to send them back to somebody in Canada. But I love the stamps. And it mushroomed, and then I went to here. And then I went to here. so I've got all this. Both of these were sent 2 different years to me from my friend Carol. This is 218. This was 2019, I believe, last year. And she is a postcard person, and she's my friend from Post Crossing. And introduced to me by a blogging friend, Jill, who introduced me to doing pocket letters. And that is what made me come out of my mourning mode when my husband passed away. And it was a little over a year after he passed away, almost a year and a half. And Jill told me about pocket letters. I started doing pocket letters and post crossing. Both of those came from Jill. And Carol Ann was a post crossing friend. And oh gosh, I need to put this. I'm messing this all up because my desk is such a mess. She was a post crossing friend who also made my mother's life so happy because she would send my mom postcards and pocket letters. Carol Ann did, without anything in return, all random acts of kindness to my mother. And my mother was so delighted with them, she actually made a pocket letter and sent it to Carol. So anyway, that's a little story about the family. Indulge me a bit there. And it's one you may have heard before because I think I do tell it. Another page here, and I love the little Norwegian or Scandinavian look. And of course, with Scandinavia, you need mittens and wool mittens for that. These do not have any writing on them. I will have to go back and think about my December this year. I just had a hard time writing about what I was doing. I did throughout. I did write some, but mostly I just did the pages. So it's a it's almost more of an art book than a December daily, but I love it. I love it. This I had it's a box of 8 small soaps, and I have hung on to those for several years, not wanting to open any of them because the whole box together was so pretty. But I finally broke down because I was out of soap. And I found the box and I opened it up, and I chose Garden Violet for my very first bar. And my goodness, it's a good soap. It does not, I want it to wear away a little bit faster than it's wearing away because now I'm anxious to try all the soaps. And throughout, I'm hoping that I will share each of the little pieces of the packaging with you. This was a card from Christy here, and I just love this. This is day 18 in December. So I don't have much in here, and like I say, there's so much room if I want to use this as well next year. Again, 19, there's a cardinal who visited me, and I actually did journal on that. And I love the little stickers. I believe these stickers were given to me in Happy Mail, and I just love them. I've sprinkled them throughout. Here's another Santa and some more journaling and a little tuck spot. And I love the little mushrooms. I was so into gnomes this year. Oh my gosh, I may have to do a video just on the gnomes that I purchased. Here's Christmas is here. Merry old Christmas, joy brings Christmas, King of the Year. And oh, I almost have all the presents wrapped now. What a good feeling this is, and it's early. December 20th. I really did have everything done before Christmas Eve, so I was very happy about that. December 20th. Now the winter solstice. Oh, I just loved the winter solstice, and I was so sad that it was cloudy, so I could not see the Christmas star. And oh goodness, look what I've done. I'll have to cover that up. Goodbye autumn, hello winter. So I have some little autumn things to say goodbye. I'll have to redo that, cover that up, and make that a little bit nicer anyway. That won't hurt at all. Although I did hear that in years to come, when people look at your journals, they will prefer to see your own handwriting rather than something beautifully printed. So if you're making journals, use your own handwriting for titles and for quotes and so forth. Don't always use something beautifully printed, just for that reason. This card was a Christmas card last year from Lynn. Thank you, Lynn. I know you're watching. And I loved that card. And so I made the winter solstice. I kept the back side of the card here, or or maybe that was the envelope. Gosh, I can't even remember what I did now. But I just loved, I love the winter solstice, and I celebrated and was very much aware of the day and my mood. And I made this little card. On December 22nd, I bought a bird feeder, a fairy garden tub, to make a fairy garden this spring in my garden that my kids built for me in the backyard, and a poinsettia. Or do you say poinsettia? Poinsettia. I don't know the proper way. I've always said poinsettia, but I think it's poinsettia is the proper way. But anyway, 2 of them there just for December 2nd. Because I actually went out and did some shopping and got some fresh perspective. And this is the inside of the card, even though this was sent on 2019. And I just love this, and so I just pasted it on the inside. Some stars, because the winter solstice is all about the night sky. And winter, I just love that. I've kind of mixed up. I kind of keep this as the winter solstice. This is still Christmas. This is the winter solstice. This is the winter solstice. But the date is the 22nd, and that's what that is. And don't ask me in 5 years' time to explain all that, because I won't remember. So fortunately, I'll have this video to look back on. December 23rd. This was my favorite page, I think, in the book. I think, maybe. My favorite page. I love this. I love putting a little hat on this beautiful goldfinch. We have goldfinches here, and I sat in the backyard last autumn and counted like 15 in my backyard one day. So I'm very much in tune with the goldfinch. I loved my Christmas washi tape, which I ordered Christmas washi, and I got all of this washi, which, now this one I had, and this one I had. But all of this washi is 3 of the packages I didn't even open. I think they were cut wrong because each one had a little tiny one with it, which they would have counted that had they told me. So I just got so many washis in this box, but it was supposed to be like 48 washis. It ended up being so many, and I used those little tiny ones. I saw it back here inside of one of these cards. Oh, here it is. That's the little tiny washis will make wonderful decorations. So anyway, I am going to see what I can pick out for January, to use in January, like just the snowy and the snowman, maybe the deer, and keep some out for January. Here's some hearts for February. Here's some snowy for January. I loved this. It was so inexpensive. It was on Amazon, and for what you got, I just couldn't believe how nice the tape was. It's the good sticky. You can pull it up and reuse it, but it has a really good stick. So that was very much a surprise. And the nice thing, let me show you this. Ha ha ha. Washi tape. That is how I will store it. This just, when I put it away in my Christmas box, isn't that nice and neat? I was so happy with this, and it's probably on sale. So run right now to your Amazon app and order yourself some washi tape. Now let me try and see if I'm still in the picture. Okay, and let's see. Christmas Eve, I have Santa coming down the chimney of this little house, which is a tuck spot. And Santa, and that's Dasher, because I don't have a favorite reindeer. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. I think Dashers because I just think Dasher first, and I don't always run through the names all the way to Blitzen. And there's no red nose, so you know it's not Rudolph. And I journaled on the back of that card and the back of this card. Christmas Eve is my sister's birthday, and so I wished her a happy birthday, and I had already previously sent her, I think she got a very nice gift card to Starbucks because she is a tea drinker. That is just her thing. If you know Patty for anything, she drinks tea. And she has a special mug. She has a special pot. She has a special water she brews with it. When she goes anywhere, she takes her own water to brew her tea. And tea is just her thing. She drinks tea all day long, multiple cups. And so that's what she orders at Starbucks. She has a tea that she orders that is extremely complicated. And that's the one tea she wants, and she always buys it. And she she just is amazing. She amazes me with her tea, being a tea fanatic. So you can't buy her anything for her tea because she has already everything she wants, but you can buy her Starbucks tea. Oop, that's maybe needs to be glued down a little bit. It's supposed to be up in the air, but that looks like it's not a good thing. So I'm just going to glue that down. And that was a Christmas card. Merry Christmas. This is December 25th. It finally arrived. And I woke up in the morning and I woke up to snow. What an amazing And surprising thing, it was snowing, and it snowed all morning and all most of the afternoon, not accumulating a lot, which is even better, but it was just so pretty out the window. And I enjoyed my coffee, and then I enjoyed opening my stocking. My daughter filled a stocking, my daughter and her family filled a stocking for me, and it was just lovely. It was just so many wonderful things. Stockings are a big thing in our family. And the stocking tradition of opening, everybody who is there for Christmas morning on Christmas Eve puts presents in the stocking, one present for each person that's going to be there Christmas morning. And if you get there Christmas morning, they put their stocking gifts in before we have the ceremony of opening the stockings. And then one person is chosen to open their stocking first, and then we just go around in a circle. And it's not the same way every year. But it's very, there's nothing about who starts. There's nothing particularly nailed down to how we start opening them. But the one person will open up and bring out all the gifts from the stocking, and as they open it, the person who put it in there announces, "That's for me, that's for me," so you know who gave you everything. And we do keep it a capped limit of just a couple dollars a gift, nothing big. Some people go overboard once in a while, but we truly try to stay within our limit. It's just a fun little remembrance gift. So this was quite different, to open it all myself, and I just took my time, and I enjoyed and opened each package as I opened them. And most of the gifts are unwrapped, but this one had some that were wrapped. But even the ones that are unwrapped, I still took them apart, examined everything, just spread out the loveliness of undoing the stocking, and remembered each person in the McGuire family that had gifts in there, and especially my daughter. But thought about all the other Christmases where we were all together. Okay, I'm going on and on. But we do love the Christmas stocking ceremony in our family, and I will be very glad to go back to that. And honestly, I thought we maybe should have had Christmas Eve, we should have had a Zoom undoing of the stockings, or Christmas night. We should have saved our stockings for Christmas night, because Christmas night we did do a Zoom gathering. Christmas afternoon, I drove to Cincinnati and met with my daughter, who drove an equal distance, and we met in a parking lot, and that way we could stay in our cars, roll down the window, have the heaters going full blast in the cars, and talk and exchange presents. In exchange, she brought me Christmas dinner, all in little packets, and which of course lasted me for days and days and days. And I still have some that I have put in the freezer, because I love the ham, but after 3 or 4 days, I'm ready to put it aside and have something else, and then go back to that delicious ham. And she gave me the most wonderful chunks of ham. And then after that on Christmas Day, I drove. This is probably way more than you wanted to know. I drove back to Dayton, and my friend called, and she said, "Stop by. I see you're on the road," because we have fine friends with each other. "I see you're on the road. Stop by, and I have something for you." And so she just lives less than 2 miles from my house. So I stopped by her house first, and she came running out, and she had a Christmas present from her sister that she gave me, and a whole bag of Christmas dinner with Christmas napkins and Christmas plates. So I was just astounded, and I was just delighted. And the package, which I will probably show you, it's a thing that it's like a box. It lights up, and in it is jellyfish that go up and down, kind of like the old lava lamps. So, so I'm going to do a video of some of my Christmas gifts, and that will be in it, because that was so fun to get. But we had a get-together at Bev's house in October, and she had one, and we were all just going on and on about it. My friend Rebecca, my friend Ginny, and we were just loving that, and she bought one for each of us for Christmas. So that was a big surprise, because we don't normally exchange presents. That's our gift to one another, is that we don't exchange Christmas gifts and worry about it and go to that expense. We just wish each other Merry Christmas. But that was just such a wonderful surprise. And I still have to write my thank you note, although I did send her a text. Okay, onward. December 26th. I didn't want to cover this up. I had to cover up the other part. This is the half of winter, but I think it's just a win. When it snows, it's just a win, because it's so pretty when you don't have to go outside. Of course, I had to go outside Christmas Day because I drove to Cincinnati, and the drive there was fine. The roads were dry and salted, but on the way back it was snowing again, and the roads were slick and snowy, and it was a little bit of a harrowing drive for me, because I don't like to be out in the snow. I just thought that looked so pretty, those colors together, and it's eucalyptus, and it has nothing to do with Christmas, but I loved it. This tea was given to me by Diane. It's not only did she give me this special tea, she gave me a special pot with a lid and a strainer to put these teas in. It makes 1 cup, and you put boiling water in it, and I loved it. And I am going to be hoarding that, but I've already had 2 of them. This I have had kicking around my house for a long time. I believe this is the one that my father-in-law painted. He painted a lot of these saws back in the day when it was a big thing, I think in the 80s. And this one has been kicking around for a long time, and it's just snowy, and it's after Christmas, and it just seemed like the right thing to put in this little tea thing. So that way I will always have it, and I will never lose it, because it has gone missing a couple of times and turned up later. But I just thought, oh, how perfect for that. And I don't know what it had. I think it had wooden handles or something on the ends, and I didn't have any, and so I just put some little snowflakes. Oh, and here's the other side. A log cabin on a lake. Yeah, I should have showed you the other side. Normally, he signs his work, but he might have signed it on the handles that were gone. But he normally, I keep looking, and I'm still looking to see if I see a WDB or a little mouse, which is how he always signed all of his work. He had a little mouse that was his little signature symbol. Okay, and on Christmas Eve, I had received a wonderful happy mail from Allie in the UK, and she sent me a card. Ooh, okay. Hang on, I'm gonna go get it. Okay, there is the card that Allie sent, and it arrived at a time where it was just wonderful to get something special from a friend, and something handmade, made especially for me, and a nice sentiment and inside. And I may not even put it on this page because I like the page as it is. She also sent me this little mermaid card. She also sent me the mermaid card and that and the hello and the Happy New Year. And I loved it with the papers, and I just thought that just made a pretty page that way. I'm going to maybe have a tip in here, or I should have it on Christmas Eve. It should be maybe a tip in for Christmas Eve. So anyway, I'm not sure where I'm going to put it, but I've had it up on my mantle where I could enjoy it since then, and this might be a good time to show you. This is the beautiful card that was sent to me by Mary Crochet, and this is the first card I received this year, and I was blown away. She makes wonderful angels, and she sent me an angel canvas to hang, and it's hanging, but I can't get it down without moving my camera. So I'm just going to say it's hanging right in front of me, my angel, and I'll maybe insert a picture so that you can see it. And she also sent me a Christmas ornament, an angel Christmas ornament for my tree. But I was just so happy with this snowman. And I know that she made it for me because I love snowmen. And they are just my thing. So I have enjoyed this. It is visible from across the room where I sit on the couch and I look up on the mantle, and this was what I would see, and I just loved it. And I thank you, Mary. This just brightened my holiday the whole month of December. And then this was my other Christmas card that I received that was handmade, Kathy D. And I'm going to tell you, I love being on her list to receive cards because she makes the most beautiful cards. And every time I see anything she posts, I just admire how precise her cards are, her cutting, her everything she does is so beautifully made that I have been the recipient of several cards at Christmas, and I was so happy to be again a recipient of a card from Kathy. And thank you so much, Kathy D. from Michigan. She lives nearby, and I may have to, once the lockdowns are all over with, I may have to, maybe we could get together sometime and do some crafting somewhere. Meet halfway or something, or I don't even mind traveling up to Michigan. It's not that far. But there we go, the 27th. Now we're moving on towards the Happy New Year, the New Year holiday, and I was very, very, did I leave a pocket for that? Did I make this a pocket? No, but you could put a tab of something in there, so it's a little pocket. Okay, December 30th, ho, 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 I got out again. I was happy to get outside. My daughter, Shelly, called and we were talking, and she says, Mom, you just sound so down. You sound so depressed. You don't always know if you're falling into depression, so you need to get out and do something. So, like the good mother I am, I take the advice of my daughter, and I went out. And but I just went out to do errands. My son had sold something on eBay that he had left with me. If it did sell during the Christmas season, it was all packed and ready to go. He just needed to send me the label, which he did, and I put the label on it, and I took it to the post office, so we'll see. Anyway, this was a sticker. It did not stick. The little sticky part peeled off. This came from Leslie, I believe in Arizona, and I got some lovely Happy Mail from Leslie, and I am so sorry I have used my Happy Mail. You may have seen it as you flip through. I've used my Happy Mail here and there and on different things and some other things that I did, so I'm sorry I don't have it to show. I feel really bad. This here is a Merry Christmas, and the 30th, after I went to the post office, I went and picked up my prescriptions. I was very happy to have those. And finally, it seems like it's come together where there's 3, I take 4 things. 3 of them now are being filled at the same time. It used to, when I first started several years ago taking these different medicines, I had to go pick them up 30-day supply or 90-day, I think it was a 30-day supply originally. And I had to go 4 times a month to pick up the 4 different ones as they ran out, and I refilled them. Finally now we're down to 3 at once, and we'll soon have the 4th one together. I know that's a big thing. Okay, but I love this little card, and I loved how it was blue, and it kind of matched that page. And I use this for my countdown after Christmas, that we're almost to 2021, and so I printed that out, and I accidentally printed it huge, so it worked out great for today, New Year's Eve, and we are almost there. We are on the cusp of 2021. And I just am happy to see the change. I love new beginnings. I love the winter solstice. I love birthdays. I love New Year's Day. I love new beginnings, and so I'm just very, very happy. And think outside. I want to get outside more this winter, even though it's cold. It snowed today. I woke up and there was a dusting of snow all over everything. The roofs are white. All of the flower beds are white. And so it was a wonderful start to the change of the year. And it's 2021. I'm looking forward, and I will have something for here. And then on this side, here's 2020 and 2022 because it's backwards, because it should open up that way. But I have made a pocket, and then tomorrow I will decorate this and write my thoughts on the year, or on the month, probably the month and the year. And then tomorrow will be January. Cheers to a new year, and cheers to you for, I'm just going to send this. I can see a couple things I'm going to edit out when I had to go get a card, but I'm just going to send this as is. And I love you, and Happy New Year, and happy 2021. And may this next year be a blessed year for all of us. And I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye.